Hi, and welcome to the Caterpillar Cross Stitch YouTube channel. My name is Ford, and this week I'm going to be talking about how many strands to use during cross stitching. I'm going to give you some definitive answers, and then I'm going to teach you some tools for determining for yourself in case you don't like my answers. Now I'm going to jump right in here, but don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and when we're done, like the video and leave me a comment. I have a goal of hitting 100,000 subscribers this year, and I'd love it if you were one of them. Now to start off, the time it's most important to know how many strands to use in a cross-stitch project is going to be when you're working from a kit, because the kit is going to come with a set amount of floss. So if you don't use the number of strands that they expect you to, you're going to use either more or less floss than they intended, and your kit's not going to have the right amount of materials. So how do you know how many they want you to use? Most of the time they're going to tell you. So for instance, if you take a look at the instruction sheet that comes with a Caterpillar cross-stitch kit, under our top tips here it says remember to use 2 thin strands of thread to stitch with. And in the instructions section, in number 3, it says with only 2 strands at a time. So a kit should tell you somewhere in its instructions how many strands of floss you're expected to use with it. And it's worth noting here that if you are using the loop start, like I almost invariably am, that counts as using 2 strands. You're taking both ends of one strand of floss and you're putting them through the eye of your needle, so you're stitching with 2 strands, even though it's really only one long one. That is a question I see asked pretty frequently, so if that's the question that brought you to this video, there's your answer right there, but there's still a lot of great information coming up. Now what if you're not working from a kit? What if you're working from a digital pattern that you've got from somewhere? Again, a good quality pattern will tell you how many strands of floss you're expected to use for the project. With some experience, you may know that you disagree with what's called for, and that's when it's a good time to change it. And the rules that I'll teach you later in the video about how to determine how many to use will really come into play then. But for instance, a Caterpillar cross-stitch pattern actually includes a page that has that same information that I showed you, telling you how many they're expecting you to use. But patterns can come from a bunch of different places, and a good one will just tell you, sometimes it's not entirely clear, how many strands you're using. But right here, on these ones for instance, you're using 2 strands of floss. That's what the little 2 in brackets right next to the color means. Or it might say it somewhere else in the file like the Caterpillar ones do. So take a look around and see if there's a piece of information. But here's the thing. Most of the time, it's 2 strands. There are a few exceptions with high count fabrics or low count fabrics, but most of the time what you're going to want to use is 2 strands of floss. That's the standard and that's the default. Now you may be asking, why? And you're not going to just take my word for it. That's fine. That means you're my people. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Now most new stitchers will start out on 14 count aida, which is like the sample that I've got here. And I've gone ahead and I've stitched a little 5x5 swatch in 1, 2, 3, and 4 strands of DMC embroidery floss in my favorite color, 995. Now you probably noticed that I didn't do any stitches in 5 or 6 strands. And I'm going to be honest, there are almost no circumstances that will call for 5 or 6 strands, and I'll get into that a little bit more later. But you'll notice a few things change as the number of strands increases as we move across here. For one thing, you'll notice the coverage changes. With the 1 strand, we can see a lot of the fabric poking through. With 2 strands, that goes down considerably. With 3 strands, there's no fabric showing between those stitches at all. And then when we get to 4 strands, not only is the coverage still perfect, but if you look closely, you can see a little bit that my stitches are not quite as neat. We've got a little messy one over here in particular. And then if we take a look at those stitches from the side a little bit, you can see that they're also getting kind of bulky. They're sticking up from the fabric more. The thing about it is that while as the count goes down, which means that the size of each stitch goes up, the space between the holes in the fabric increases, but the size of the holes doesn't increase as much. So if I pull out a piece of 11 count here, for instance, you'll notice that the space between the holes is bigger. There's 14 holes per inch here, there's 11 holes per inch here. But the holes themselves barely increase in size. So you're squeezing a higher number of strands through the same amount of space in the hole of the fabric. So you're kind of building bulk, and you wind up with stitches that kind of look like little hobnails. And then it becomes a lot harder to keep those strands from twisting around and bunching up and that kind of stuff. So the neatness of your stitches will go down if you use too many strands of floss. A very common thing we see people asking in some of the groups that I'm in, like the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Facebook group and in the following of the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Instagram, is why do my stitches look so messy and bulky? And it's usually because they have missed the instruction that tells them only use 2 strands of floss. And they're using all 6, which means not only are they using way more floss than they need to, but it's virtually impossible, even for an experienced stitcher, to make tidy stitches with 6 strands of floss. So then if we make a comparison between our 14 count aida and our 11 count aida at 1, 2, 3, 4 strands of floss, you'll see that at 1 we have even worse coverage. At 2 we're actually seeing a fair amount of the fabric showing through. At 3 we've gotten pretty decent coverage, and then at 4 we've got total coverage. If we increased that beyond that, we would just start getting the same problem of untidy stitches. So on 11 count, if you like the look of it, I would sometimes suggest going up to 4 strands, but not beyond. And the other thing that you'll notice is that as the count of the fabric goes down from 14 to 11, the size of each individual stitch goes up, which also means the total size of the project when it's done will go up too. So this is kind of a nice visualization of how big of a difference the count of the fabric makes. So then if we move on to 16 count aida, like I've got here, you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 strands being used. Let's get these out of the way. And even with 1 strand on 16 count, we're actually almost getting good enough coverage. 2 is definitely good. 3 kind of starts to get bulky, and then on 4, again, my stitches start getting kind of messy because I've got too many strands there. So I would generally recommend 2 on 14, 16, or 18 count fabric. Here we're going to move on up to 18. We still have a little bit of gaps in our coverage with 1 strand, but then with 2 we're looking great, 3 starting to get too bulky, and 4 definitely too bulky. So I would still recommend using 2 strands on 14, 16, and 18 for exactly that reason. Don't forget to sign up for the Caterpillar Cross Stitch email newsletter. There's a link in the description or in the pinned comment. You'll get all the latest news about our upcoming projects, stitch-alongs, retreats, and that kind of stuff, plus 10 free patterns worth over 60 pounds. So make sure you hit that link. Now, it's also worth noting that I have not washed and ironed these projects. And when you wash and iron a cross-stitch project, it fluffs the stitches up a little bit and actually improves their coverage a little bit more. So these little bits of gappage that we're seeing between the stitches on the 14 count, those mostly go away when you wash it. And if you're stitching fastidiously, like using a laying tool or railroading, and then washing and ironing your piece when you're done, that will also improve that little bit of coverage without making the sacrifice of the bulky stitches that going up to 3 or 4 strands will do. Now that being said, there are a few exceptions that I make to my rule of almost always use 2 strands. One is when I am using light colored floss on dark colored fabric, or especially on red colored fabric. With the light colored floss, part of the reason it's light colored is because it's allowing to pass through or reflecting a lot of the light that hits it. When light hits something that's light in color, that thing will reflect more of it. And its color is determined by what colors it absorbs and what colors it reflects. Now, when you use a dark colored floss, it just is absorbing most of the light that hits it. So less of it gets through to the fabric, and you don't see the fabric poking through as much, kind of like these here. But when you use a light colored floss on dark colored fabric, a fair amount of the light that hits that floss actually passes through it. And with a light colored fabric, some of that light will hit the fabric and then bounce back up through the floss again, giving you more color density and making the floss a little more opaque because of the light scattering through it in both directions. But when you're using light colored floss on dark colored fabric, a lot of the light passes through, and instead of getting reflected back off of the fabric and up into the floss and from there into your eyes, the light passes through the floss and is absorbed in the fabric. So it eats up a lot of the light that would normally give opacity and color to the floss that's on the surface. I notice this especially with red, and that's just because of the way our eyes are less sensitive to red wavelengths of light than they are to other wavelengths. So if you've ever stitched something on a dark color, then notice that like 2 strands is great coverage when you're using navy floss on white aida, but when you're using white floss on navy aida, you suddenly can see big holes. That's because of the transparency and redirection of the light from the floss. So in this circumstance, with dark colored aida, I do like to use either 3 or 4 strands of floss to get a little bit more opacity, and it's worth the trade-off there to me. But you don't have to just take my word for it. There aren't any rules in cross stitch. So if looking at these examples that I've stitched, you like the looks of the 3 on 14 or the 4 on 14 more, just because it gives better coverage and you don't see any fabric showing through, that's totally fine. That's a good thing to know about yourself. And that's a great way that you can customize patterns to more suit your taste when you're working on them, is by changing how many strands of floss that you're going to use. So that would be the reason that I stitched all of these little samples here, so that you could take a look at them, see how changing the number of strands affects the way the stitches look, and make a decision for yourself. Which is way more useful than just telling you, right? So what about you? How many strands do you use on what count of fabric, and what tricks do you have for making sure you get good coverage? Share your knowledge in the comments with us. That is all I have for you this week, though. I do want to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. For Caterpillar Cross Stitch, my name is Ford, and I will see you next week.